Hi everybody, it's week 4. Week 4 already? Wait a minute, week 4? That means I have to go back to work tomorrow. Well, I have to go to the doctor first for my 1 month check-in, and then everything should be fine and I should be back to work. So, yeah, I took a little bit longer than most people have asked, so wasn't sure how my arthritis was going to be after being off the medication and stuff. And I'm doing surprisingly well. Here, let me take off my glasses again. One of these days I'm going to remember to do that beforehand. Well, my stats are high weight, 394. Pre-op weight was 330.4. Surgery weight was 320.4. And the current weight is 304. Lots of 3s and lots of 4s in there. Didn't quite lose as much in this month as I thought I would. Tomorrow, actually Tuesday, is my actual 1 month day, so maybe I'll use that for an excuse. My scale says I'm 304, which is 4 pounds different from my doctor's scales, so they would put me at 308. 307 is my goal, so maybe miraculously overnight tonight I will lose another pound. Who knows? I don't think they're going to beat me up too bad about it. If you hear something in this video, or if you see a little gray flash, the kitten is in here with me, and he's not used to being in this room. But otherwise, he'll be knocking at the door like he was last week. He's a very smart cat. Anyway, what I did this week is I wanted to go over some of my non-scale victories I've had so far, and to give you some of my goals and what I would like to achieve with this. It seems to be a trend here with different videos. So, he's actually asking to go outside. So hold that thought. I'm going to actually let him. I guess it wasn't as much fun in here as he thought it was going to be. I've already achieved a lot of non-scale victories. I was getting my hair colored, and I was in reclining getting my hair washed, and felt like I should cross my legs, and so I crossed my legs, and I could actually cross my legs like a natural, normal girl again, instead of the man sit, as I call it, where my legs are sprawled all over the place. So that was quite the surprise, because to tell you the truth, that was one of them that I didn't really realize I couldn't do until one day I'm like, wait a second, I can't put my shoes on comfortably. I have to sit in this weird man legs crossed thing, so to get my shoes on, and well, I can now put my shoes on like a lady. Another thing that happened is I could sit in a booth again. Yeah, that was one of the more embarrassing things. We went out quite a few years back to one of our favorite restaurants. Took my father-in-law and my husband for New Year's Eve. And ironically, it was New Year's, right? I couldn't get in the booth. If I squeezed myself to get in the booth, I wouldn't have been able to eat anything. Now, the people were really nice about it. I was embarrassed as hell. Because it's already standing room only. We'd already waited 15-20 minutes for some place to sit, and then I have to go and say, well, I think we need a table. They found us a table really quickly, and, didn't make a big deal out of it, but it was just really embarrassing. And now I don't have to do that, but I actually prefer tables, so if there is the chance for us to sit in a table as opposed to a booth, I sit at the table, and that's more because it's easier for my husband to get in the chairs and such. I mean, he'll do a booth, no problem, but he usually has to use the restroom while we're there, and doesn't like to climb over people and stuff like that. So we still tend to use the tables, but I can sit in a booth now if I need to. Some of the things that I have done, also, my blood sugar, we had been keeping track of it. I wasn't like on insulin or anything, but we had been keeping track of it because it had been a little high in my A1C, and now it's totally normal. I'm not going to have to take insulin, which I didn't have to before anyway. It was all regulated by what I eat. So things seem to be going a lot better that way. Some people talk about having a bucket list, things they want to do before they die. I kind of have one too, but I'm not going to call it a bucket list. I'm going to call it a you can't keep me from doing these things list. My weight has held me back for a lot of different things. Simple things like going for a boat ride, I'd have to sit in the middle because otherwise it'd be lopsided. Going to a friend's house and her mom fussing over which chair I sit in because it might break. Which I understand her concern, and it was a legit concern, but it made me feel so uncomfortable. And of course, she didn't think anything of it, that it might make me feel that way. But just stupid little things like that. I'm looking forward to the days where I can go and I can sit anywhere and I don't have to think about it. If the chair is going to hold me or if it's going to bust or if I move it all, it's going to crack or whatever. Soon, I won't have to worry about that. And some of those things I had on my bucket list, like one of the big ones for me was riding in a hot air balloon. I was able to do that not too long ago. So I was able to check that one off. Now, granted, it was tethered to the ground. It was still a hot air balloon, and I was in it. That we did had the experience in Branson. My husband, who was afraid of heights, was determined to at first, and then he's decided not to. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to do it because this is my one chance I've ever had to do this, so I'm going to do it. And I did. And it was one thing that my weight didn't hold me back from. And that felt good because the other big thing on my list, parasailing. I couldn't find a place that would allow me to do it because of my size. I even approached a place that does has two people at once, but still their seatbelt thingies were not set up for larger people, so it wasn't going to work. So this summer, I planned to be able to mark that off the list. So that's kind of exciting to me. Now, some of my other bucket list things aren't quite that dangerous and elaborate, but one of them I did achieve already, and that was to audition for a reality TV show with my singing. And although I did not make the show, I beat out 11,000 people in the Midwest to be to put on to the next round. And that, to me, that was just as good as being on the show because that helped me prove to myself that I have some talent. And self-esteem has always been an issue with me. And I also thought my weight would hold me back for the show, but in this case it might have actually been a plus for the show. But anyway, I didn't end up on the show itself. I believe I was in some of the big shots overhead and things, and my mom swears up and down she saw me. But I didn't see me. But anyway, I know I was there. I have the little paper to prove it, and I get to go on. And when I found out how many people were actually in the auditorium that day, it made me feel pretty good about myself. And then probably one of my biggest things that I have accomplished already is being a role model for my students. They know about the TV show. They know about the different things I've done in musical theater and different friends I have who do travel the world entertaining, and they appreciate the fact that I try to not let anything hold me back. And I try to teach them to believe in themselves, because if I would have had a teacher who helped me believe in myself at that age, it would have helped a whole lot of heartbreak, and it probably would have helped my weight, quite honestly. But when you have a different teacher every year for quite a few years, we rarely had a consistent music teacher in my school, and that kind of leads you to not have the best upbringing in knowing about all these different things. So that's why I'm so determined to teach my kids so much more than I ever learned. And I like to be a role model for them. I may have to make this video in 2 parts because I can only upload 10 minutes at a time. So if that's the case, I may have to pause here and continue the other one in the another video. But I'm going to move on to the things that are on my bucket list that are my you can't keep me from doing this list that I haven't done yet. There's quite a few of those. I'll start on this side with my notes here. Number 1, and this is the reason I actually started this endeavor of losing weight, to alleviate my psoriatic arthritis, chronic pain. And it has helped a lot. I still have stiffness in the morning. I still have some problems. I still have trouble walking at times, but it's gotten a lot better. So it's helping. So that one is in process. I already mentioned the parasailing. That will happen soon. I don't want to jump out of an airplane, but I am really intrigued by this indoor skydiving. And they have it not too far from me here. And so I think that's another one I want to try. I want to do some zip lines. My brother and sister-in-law did some in Michigan, back where I used to live, and really enjoyed it. I have this thing about heights. I don't have very good depth perception. So heights don't really bother me that much unless I'm standing on something glass that I can see through, because my head's saying, you can't stand there because you're going to fall through. So I have trouble with glass floors, but as far as being way up in the sky and flying over things, it doesn't affect me that much. Thank you, bad eyes, for that. I used to do belly dancing, believe it or not. I took some classes, and that was an all-women class, so I didn't feel too bad. And there were women of all different sizes. That, of course, was the largest in the class, but I wasn't about to let that keep me back. I had more rhythm than all of them because I'm a music teacher. And, well, I shouldn't say than all of them. I had felt that was my advantage. I would like to do that again and be able to wear the cute little outfits and stuff and not worry about my belly continuing to dance after I stopped. I really enjoyed it. It's an excellent form of exercise, and I could not last the whole class. I would get to about 35 minutes, and there'd be about 10 minutes left, and I'd have to stop. So it did hold me back, but I enjoyed it, and it was fun. So that's something I would like to do again. I want to be there to take care of my husband. He has some health issues as well, and one of the things that got me to this point is I took care of my sister when she was sick, and she was going to take care of me when I was having my bad times. Well, she didn't make it through, and my husband isn't physically capable of taking care of me if I get really bad. So I need to make sure to get myself better so I can take care of myself, and I can take care of him better as well, and our kitty cat. I was kind of hoping Meals would jump up on my lap or something so you could see him. He's a really cute cat. I don't want to be taken for granted anymore, for many different reasons. It's like, oh, she's not going to leave the school district because she'd have a harder time getting a job at her size, and because the arthritis has held me back in so many different ways that I kind of get taken for granted a lot. And by losing the weight, I want them to realize that I have options in my work, I have options in my marriage, I have options in a lot of ways that people don't think I do. Because of my sex. But they're going to have to realize that I can make decisions and I can do what I want to do, and it doesn't matter what they or others think.